Yesterday I saw a patient who came in with a very common story following a treatment. He said he was better after the treatment, but it didn't really last, and over the next couple of days he got worse. So I said to this guy, that shouldn't be the case, and he looked at me quizzically. So I explained to him, think of it as if you have a cut on the knuckle. First it is bleeding, then you have a clot, then you have a scab, and then eventually you will have a scar. And left to its own devices, this is the normal passage of healing. And then I explained to him, let's imagine that you've gone to bed and you've got a little scab on your knuckle. And the next morning you wake up and you can see fresh blood. So what does that mean has happened? And the guy looked at me and he said, well, perhaps you've inadvertently knocked the wound during your sleep. And I said, yes, in other words, if a wound gets better, it stays better. And it's the same with your back. So what do you suppose could have been the equivalent of knocking the wound in your own back? Immediately his eyes lit up and he said, I think I know what it was. I went to work for 2 days and I sat solidly. Now, in exactly the same vein, ironically, in the afternoon I had another patient who came with the same story. And she said she has done everything that I'd asked her to. She had actually laid down, rested, stopped going to the gym, taken time off work, and she was managing the situation. But she got good days and bad days, and she wasn't very convinced about how treatment was going to progress for her. So I explained to her the story about if you heal, the body doesn't say, we will be good today, and the next morning when she wakes up, let's give her jip. So far she understood this part of the scenario, but she was flummoxed. She thought, I've done everything you've said and I'm still not getting better. So anyhow, we spent quite a bit of time chatting through this during the course of the treatment. And towards the end of it, rather shyly, she said, well, on Thursday and Friday, I went up to town for 2 socials. And I think that's the problem for many people. Deep down, I think we know that we might not have taken enough rest at the right time or enough of the right type of care. So I explained to her it's quite common for people to do 4 good things and spoil it on 1 bad thing. So this particular lady, she understood where we were coming from because the healing pathway had not completed and she had gone back a bit too soon. And once a patient starts to understand what the body needs as versus what your life wants to do, and getting that balance right, healing starts to improve and stay better. So why not visit one of our friendly osteopaths at the clinic? We can guide you through this process. It's not just about the treatment, it's also about managing the whole picture for you. I hope this short little clip helps you on your own journey to work out what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong, as it is potentially a very difficult bridge to gap for some people.